Hello, and welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I am so glad you are here with me. My name is Carrie Dale, and I am your host. I am an entrepreneur, author, podcaster, manifester, and motivator. And I am on a mission to empower you to create the life of your dreams. If you are looking to up-level your life, relationships, finances, productivity, and success, you have come to the right place. I will share with you tools, resources, strategies, my failures, and my successes that have all helped me achieve the life of my dreams. It is my goal with this podcast to help you see your potential and empower you to create the life of your dreams. So let's get to it. Well, welcome to the Thrive Mindset Podcast. I'm Carrie Dale, and today I have Jacqueline Kane, who is on a mission to show people how they can get healthy, stay healthy, and take control of their health once and for all. Whether it's their back pain or chronic physical or emotional ailments, or just feeling that something isn't right, Jacqueline gets you out of the pain and into your life so that you can get relief you've been chasing. Welcome, Jacqueline.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you for joining me. I love your mission. I have this thing for finding healing within yourself, whether it be physical or emotional, because I feel like we can all heal ourselves with the right guidance. So thank you. I would love to start with your story, if possible. I think stories are what connect us. So
I was just living my life. I ended up getting married, having a couple kids. Even though my whole life I felt that I was very positive and did yoga, meditation, thought I was doing everything right, and then ended up, my marriage was going off the rails. We were disconnecting. I mean, I have so much compassion for moms who are working, whether inside the home or outside the home, and trying to manage everything because it's a lot.
it's a lot.
And that's what kind of set me on my healing journey, realizing that there were just things inside of me that I had no idea were there, trauma that was so suppressed. I had no recollection of it. And it kind of threw me into therapy. And I love how the universe works too, because all of a sudden things were coming into my email box of ways to uncover, right? Ways to get to the root cause. Mm-hmm. I don't like just skimming the surface and feeling good for a little bit here and there. I want to go deep. I want to just excavate it all and start fresh. So there were just these amazing things coming through my email about modalities like tapping and emotional freedom technique, and people who were really just changing their health, their wealth, like everything. And it was such a big discovery time for me where it lit me up. I started healing what needed to get healing, started understanding energy and how to use energy to really create the life I want, not just let it happen. Mm-hmm. And then things just started turning around. I ended up cleaning out all of my friends at that point. I had attracted the wrong crowd. Healed my marriage. We're still together. We're still having a lot of fun. We just became grandparents. Our kids are doing well. Life is well, and just turned everything around. And now I get to show my clients how to do that because nobody teaches us this.
No.
Everybody goes along thinking I'm good. And then you hit that wall and you're like, what? How did I get here? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. I love that. Were you, prior to today, I'm not sure how long you've been doing this, but were you, I don't want to say just a mother and a wife, because it's not just. It's right. Never just, but a lot of us do that. Like we say that to ourselves. I'm just a mom. I'm just a wife, those kind of things. But is that what you were focused on back then?
I was working 40 hours as an X-ray tech, doing mammograms, 40 hours. The kids were young. I remember when I had my first child and went back to work after 6 weeks off. He was not sleeping. Looking back, I was a zombie. So I was just surviving, trying to raise the kids, work, take care of the household. And we got lost. We got so lost. And drained and exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
really exhausted back then.
What was the first, I mean, you've had a lot of things coming at you, but what was the first tool that you found to be the most helpful?
The very first tool was EFT, or emotional freedom technique.
Mhm.
Absolutely amazing. I had never heard anything of it before, but I went into one of my therapy sessions and I was enraged like a caged animal. And within an hour, I walked out calm and I was like, my God, what was that? What was that? And actually I have to like back up. So I would say even before I got married, my very first experience was a massage on a cruise ship where it completely calmed my mind. There was no thought in there. My whole body and mind was just completely relaxed.
Mm.
And I knew I was like, what just happened? Now looking back, I understand that I was living really stressed. My nervous system was heightened all the time. But when you're in that moment, you don't realize it. So after that massage, after that EFT session, understanding that there are things out there that could help me relax. And I wanted more of it, especially after that therapy session where it completely changed how I was over it
Mm.
within an hour. What?
Yeah.
Really amazing.
Yeah. And then, so you started having these different experiences and it started changing you. But then what, I mean, other than just the knowing that you could change yourself, what else drove you to want to help others do this?
So my career path first was an x-ray tech, and then I became a massage therapist. And then in my practice, I had some friends in a mastermind, and we were like, well, why do our clients come in? And I started asking my clients, why do you come in? And they were like, well, I get out of pain. And then I was like, oh, that's awesome. So some people were getting out of pain by the different massage techniques I was using, but there were still some people who weren't, who that pain just kept coming back. And then, so I was just on a mission to keep finding, well, why were some people getting out of pain with certain techniques and why others weren't? And as I just researched everything. I was like a sponge at that point. I learned about tapping into wealth, that you could tap on do different visualizations and use tapping to clear up your money blocks. So there was that. So I was adding in tools, energetic tools to heal the physical pain, and understanding that it was also helping us to open up our abundance channels. So then as I just kept learning one thing after another, then I came across ancestral energy clearing, which that blew my mind. Have you ever
I've heard of it.
experienced?
I've never done it, but I would love to hear more. So please share.
Yeah, it's really, and again, that word just comes up, but it's a process that you go through of understanding the energy that you inherited from your family. And there's a specific process that will clear it. But it was Thanksgiving, I don't know, maybe 2016. And my sister-in-law had lost her father and her sister around the same time. And I knew that she was going to have a hard time. And I said, why don't we all just go to Ireland? My mother-in-law's from Ireland. Why don't we all just go? The grandkids were at a good age. And my in-laws was insistent that they were not going to go. Like they were really angry. I said, okay, we're not going. I don't know what this is about, but it's off the table and I won't ask ever again. So 2 months later, I go to an event with one of my coaches. I'm in Texas, flew to Texas. I live in Connecticut, so I flew to Texas. And he takes us through this process, this clearing. And I didn't feel anything energetically in my body. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I got up, started walking to the bathroom. After just a few steps, my son calls me and says, I found a house in Ireland for all 13 of us. And I said, honey, that's really nice, but we're not going. Why? What are you doing? The next step The next text was my husband saying, Mom and Dad changed their mind. Everybody's on board and we're looking on flights for Ireland. And I said, what? 10 minutes ago, we weren't going. So I asked my coach, what was that? And he said, well, no mistakes. It was just, we cleared some energy. We cleared some disappointment energy. And so I really, again, researched, like, what was this? Why did it change from my family? And I wasn't even with them. We were states away from each other. So I started using it on some of my clients. Again, the clients who, no matter what we did, their pain constantly persisted. So I started saying, hey, let's just try this. Let's see what happens. And the majority of them, I would say all of them, everybody who experiences this, started getting out of pain. I was like, oh my God. Even a woman who just listened to the recording said her low back pain went away.
Wow. Is it just, not just, I can't even imagine what you do, because that's got to be so different for each individual, right? But then you just said that she listened to a recording, so that wouldn't be specific to that person. So is it the same process no matter who it is?
It's the same process. You just come up with your own questions. Like, I'll ask you, if you think of your family growing up, how would you describe it? Some people will say there's hardship. Some people will say there's struggle. Some people, there's just always been emotional things or low back pain or heart problems. So whatever it is, it's specific to each person, but the process is the same of how you take this energy, remove it from your body. We also use it. I love clearing our kids and our grandkids, because I know we just became grandparents, and I want to make sure that we're making life easier for them. I don't want to pass down anything. I never wanted to do that. So ancestral energy is the unresolved emotional issues of your ancestors. So all that baggage, and some families have more baggage than others. So all the unresolved health issues. Again, if you have those families that everybody has low back pain or everybody has heart problems, and they will say that's just how it is, right? That's how it impacts your health. There's also those families that say, oh, they always have financial problems. There's always somebody who's bankrupt, or there's just hardship in that area. Or Johnny always attracts the wrong person. He's never lucky in love. These are all these things that get passed down they get passed down, but nobody talks about that there's a process to clear it.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, I've heard the term, but you are actually probably the first person I've really talked to about it. I find that fascinating. I mean,
and when you clear it, it's amazing what happens. Things just out of the blue will show up. If we talk about health, like the right doctor will show up, the right surgeon will show up, like the right medication or supplements will show up. So it's an energy that we're carrying that we don't even know is impacting all areas of our life.
Yeah. Well, I'm always saying that our lives are full of energy, and what we put out is what we receive, and vice versa. And so you were just adding to that, which is you're adding a whole different level to that. It makes me wonder, though, because I've had many different conversations with other people about, I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, some people call it past lives. Some people call it their spirit. Some people call it other, guidance spirits. But do you think that your own being, your own past life, I don't know how you view it, is impacting you today, or is that not something that you?
I do think on some level we're impacted from our past lives, but I even think it's more of, at what age did you experience trauma? At what age did somebody take your power away? because when somebody takes your power away at the age of 2, it's really hard for you to stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the more work I do actually in this conversation, once we do the ancestral energy, like it's a system I have. So it's clear your ancestral energy, then it's heal your inner child. And that can take a few sessions
Mm-hmm.
because, again, we've experienced times and moments that didn't empower us. They wounded us and they took our power away
Mm-hmm.
without meaning to, right? Some are big traumas, some are little, but those energies, that inner child can really cause havoc in our lives. I even use the term like, which one of our voices inside of us is driving our bus today?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's that inner child who hasn't been heard. Many women, people please, do so much for everybody else, and we're tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we're happy to help everybody else, there's a part of us that's really angry that we're not getting help, that we're not supported. And we still hold on and carry those thoughts and those emotions. And that's what's impacting our life. So I really do believe in past lives. And I think that can impact our lives, but I think you're getting me clear that I think it's more of the inner child that needs to get healed.
Yeah.
That is really causing havoc in all areas of our lives.
Mm. Isn't that amazing? I find that fascinating. I mean, I 100% agree with you. I find it fascinating because we don't, the regular world doesn't process that way, right? It's,
Right.
this is your life. This is what you do. I'm supposed to do this. Like we were talking about women. I
Yes.
mean, I'm supposed to be the helper. I'm supposed to be the cook, the mom, the cleaner, do the job, do all the things. And I'm supposed to do all this. And it's just expected.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yet, yeah,
And you shouldn't be selfish. You
yeah.
shouldn't put yourself first. But what do they teach you when you're on the airplane if that's going down? Put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to change the story. I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to change that, at least for the kids who are being born now and going forward, to teach them, if you don't take care of yourself, if you're not filling your cup up, you're giving from a depleted bucket, and that doesn't feel good. And young children know that. And I don't want my children or my grandchildren to learn to do that same thing, because that's not fair to them. And it's keeping that habit going.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel good.
Mm-mm. No. So now you are coaching, or do you still do massage, or do you incorporate it all?
Yeah, I do. So, depending on where the clients are, so I'm in Connecticut, and if they're in Connecticut, they can absolutely come in person. I have different programs that I work with people. Um, so I have one program where we'll do half of the deep dive, and then I'll put you on the table and do massage or some kind of body work. But if you're outside of Connecticut, I've worked with people all over the world on Zoom because it's energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which makes it so much fun. And it's once you start shifting, once you start feeling better and seeing what's really possible for yourself, then you get addicted to that. And
Oh,
you
I
want
am
more.
sure.
You must see it in your world too, right?
I do, but I'm grasping onto this. I was just thinking, like, as I'm sitting here rubbing my hand, right? Because it's been colder and I am getting older. So, the things in my hands and I'm sitting here rubbing my hand going, is that something else? As you're talking.
Yeah. What's it coming from? Is it my grandmother's? Where is
Yeah.
it?
Exactly. Well, and I'm trying to think of the name of that book. I think it's You Can Heal Yourself.
Louise Hayes.
Yes.
Yes. I
Yes.
love that book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read that this past year and I was just fascinated by all the things, and it all rang so true to me. And unfortunately, I probably don't spend enough time thinking about that or processing that. So I'm enjoying hearing you remind me of all of this. So
Yeah. And that's why I love specializing in the low back pain, because low back is all about how supported you feel in life.
hmm,
And most people don't really feel supported in life.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, that was one of the things, if I recall in her book, each pain, each ailment had a specific
Specific.
reason, like a
Yeah.
specific thing you needed to look at in your life,
Yeah.
which,
She must
yeah,
have channeled that. It's an amazing, amazing book.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So tell me, speaking of books, you've written a few, I think. So are these
Yeah. So I've been in a few, but I co-led one specific book,
okay?
The Energy Medicine Solution, Mind-Blowing Results to Live an Extraordinary Life,
Mhm.
with 24 other amazing healers, where everybody takes you through their own journey. Everybody shares their journey of what started their healing process. And then they all share one tool that they fell in love with. So
Hmm.
it was number one bestseller in 12 categories on Amazon. And
Wow.
we are actually putting together a retreat. We put it together a retreat last year, and we're creating one again for 2024
Hmm.
in October. So definitely reach out if you want to be part of that.
I
We're
love
very
that.
excited about that.
What was
I
your,
didn't want it to be just on a shelf. I wanted to bring it to life.
yeah, uh, what was your tool? What was your one thing in in that book?
In that book, I also used ancestral energy,
Did you?
but because
Okay.
I was the co-leader, I talked about a lot of things. So I talked about, for any of your listeners who are living with physical pain, I talked about physical body work. So you can have massage and work the psoas muscle.
Hmm.
You can do Bowen therapy, which is a neuromuscular repatterning of the body. And then
Hmm.
there's something called liposage, which works the lymphatic system. So all these things are really great tools and modalities to, again, get to the root cause and feel better.
Hmm. And are you gonna do the next book? I think there's another one coming, isn't there? Another one, Brave Healers.
We we haven't set a date or anything
Okay.
yet. It was a lot to get the first one up.
I imagine.
Yeah. And then to put the retreat out there was a lot. So
Yeah.
one thing at a time, and
Yes.
yeah, I have to be ready.
Where is the retreat gonna be?
So this year the retreat is up in Arlington, Vermont at a retreat center.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe it's October 5th through the 7th.
Oh,
Don't
that would
quote
be
me on the
beautiful.
dates. Yeah, yeah. Nice time of the year to be in Vermont.
For sure. I might have to look into that one.
Yeah, there's going to be six of us, six healers from the book, all using different modalities. There's white time healing. There's a nutritionist who's going to be with us, a medium, a woman who does human design and teaches you your blueprint, and then somebody who does mindset. So all these modalities, people left the last retreat feeling no pain, attracting a new car. So all these things were happening. Even I just spoke to one client who worked with me probably a few years ago. And she said that after her session, she ended up attracting $15,000.
Wow.
No idea.
Wow. That's awesome.
You just,
What a life-changing thing. It's not just you're not just taking the pain away.
yeah.
You're truly bringing life and abundance to people's lives.
Yeah. And when we're stuck, we get hopeless and we don't feel that it's possible. But so many people are staying small, and there's just another way, that we're really trying to get the message out that it doesn't have to be that way. There's so much possibility for everybody. And that's what we really want everybody to know.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. If you could give one piece of advice, if you're not necessarily to a client that you have or to just anybody who's listening, if you have one piece of advice for how they could better their lives without having a session with you, without doing anything with their ancestry, what would you say?
I think it's important for people to just really start noticing how they're feeling. What are their thoughts? What's running their life? What's the overall theme that's running their life right now? Because we manifest all the time.
Mhm.
So if you're not attracted, if you look around your life and it's not what you wanted, how did you get there? I think going through what I went through, this was the biggest thing for me was not really paying attention to the emotions that I was carrying deep down inside that I didn't know how to process. So the very first step is just become aware of what are you feeling? And then maybe take a notebook and a paper and pen and go outside, sit in nature and just start writing. Oh my God, I'm not happy about this, this, this. And just pour it all out on paper and then burn it, have a ceremony, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then get clear on how you want. How do you want to feel? What do you want to start attracting? So many people say, oh, when we do tapping, you have to talk about the negativity first. And people are like, I don't want to be negative. But that's what's going on in your subconscious mind. That's what's in your deepest thoughts. And that's what you need to clear to really create the life you desire.
Yeah. Oh, we have talked about that a lot again, and back to the whole energy thing. And I mean, manifesting, that's my jam. That's my thing. And so I talk about it all the time. I'm like, do you pay attention to what you are actually bringing? Because I hate to tell you, if you've got negative in your life, you're actually manifesting it. You're drawing it to you, whether you want to or not. So what is it? I mean, I talk about that with my kids the most, especially because they're all in that age, especially the younger two, where they're trying to find that person, right? I mean, I keep laughing and going, "You guys are 20 and 21. It's okay," but but still, that's where they are, and I get it. But I keep saying to them, I'm like, "You're so focused on what you don't want, which is what that keeps coming to you.
Yes.
Why don't you start
Yes.
thinking about what you do want instead?"
They are so lucky to have you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they feel that way, but
One
maybe
day
one
they will
day.
be very happy. Yes.
One day, one day.
It will save them. You're actually saving them so much wasted time. You are.
Mm,
They'll get
well,
it.
if they listen. I don't know. It took me a long time. I think I'm still growing and learning. So,
We all are. Yeah.
yeah.
Very good.
What else what's next for you? Any big things coming up outside of the retreat?
Well, I'm looking to possibly create a healing center here in Connecticut somewhere that under one roof we have a lot of modalities where we can do education. I really would love, now that I'm a grandmother, and I think it's so, moms and families need so much support and education. I
Mhm.
know I never got education on food or how to raise my kids or any of that. So it would be really nice to offer more support to moms and families going forward. And yeah, possibly book number two
Mhm.
and even get other people who have never written their story. Because writing your story could be very healing for you,
Mhm.
for your family, for everybody. So yeah, we'll see where that goes.
I think that's all just exciting. I think the ideas of it, even if it doesn't happen, I think it's amazing to think about. So that's great.
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything that maybe we haven't chatted about that's just on your heart that you want to share that you feel listeners
Hmm.
would want to know?
As I was doing I've been changing up my presentations and doing more research. And I do a lot of work with women who are in pain, physical pain. And one of the things I discovered was that children who have been through some kind of trauma will end up with physical pain later in life if it's not healed.
Mm.
And the more trauma that a child has been through, the more that is proving true. So that's one of my other passions and missions, is to really start healing more people and more children, just to let children know that they're okay, that they belong,
Yeah.
that they do matter. And we do want to hear from them. We want to hear what their gifts are, what they came here to do.
Mm.
So for all of you listeners who have children, just take some time to listen to them. I know I started parenting the way I was parented, and I learned early on as a mother that that was not working
Mm-hmm.
for at least one of my children. And I had to turn it all around. And I noticed that when I started asking them, how are you? Or just spending time with them, not buying them a toy or doing any of that, just actually being present to them, that
Mm-hmm.
they calm down. And if I had given them that gift early on, or if I knew that early on, it would have saved so much time and effort in so many areas.
Mm.
Um, so, yeah, the more present we can become for our children, for ourselves, the better the planet will be, the better every human being will be.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I was thinking about as you were talking in the beginning about the more childhood trauma, the more pain you have later, it got me to thinking about the older generation.
Mm,
And I'm curious. I mean, that's it seems to me you could do a ton of healing there, but people have to be open to it. And I feel like that is such a hard thing. I mean, my, my parents, mom and father, couldn't be more opposite people. And my mother is someone who I could say these things to, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I want to hear that. Let me think about that. I want to do
yeah,
something with that." Now my father needs to hear it. But he would never, like, if I went to him and went, "You need to call Jacqueline." I mean, like, he is in so much physical back pain right
yeah,
now. And if I said to him, "Dad, you should just call and just have a conversation with this lady," he would be like, "Carrie, you and your woo-woo crap." I mean, that's what he would do. He would say, "This is just BS. Like, I'm just
yeah,
old. It's just pain."
yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh,
do you see that?
oh my gosh. So I'm going with that with my father-in-law. He has stenosis in many areas of his low back
Mhm.
because of because I've done ancestral clearing with my children, with my husband, with my husband's sister. My father-in-law has now outlived all of his siblings at their age.
Mm.
But once he started getting to that age, his body started falling apart. And they're all golfers. So he would still golf as much as he could. But in the last year, his back is really tightened up. It's
Mhm.
stiff and structurally it's not well. And so when I saw the report, his x-ray report, and saw how bad it was, after he was out there swinging a club one day, he's like, "Oh my God, my back is, you shouldn't be doing that. You can't do that."
Mhm.
So my husband was like, "Well, Jack, you're the low back pain specialist. Why can't you help him?" I said, "First of all, I would help him if he was open to it. He's not all that open to everything I do. Second of all, you can't really undo 84 years of not drinking water, not drinking fruits and vegetables, not
Mhm.
taking care of your body the way you're supposed to take care of it. I love drinking and I love having a good time, but I've learned the older I get, I don't feel good and I don't like how it makes me feel. So, yeah, I talk to my clients a lot about drinking water. You have to take care of your body. You have to fill it with taking supplements. Unfortunately, in America, once you start getting to a certain age, you're taking all kinds of medication, and that medication has its impact on the body. It usually causes dehydration. So if you're not adding more water in, which not many people do,
Mm-hmm.
then your muscles are going to tighten up. Your body's going to get stiffer. If you're taking cholesterol medication, that the side effects of those I've seen in clients, they get stiffer in their shoulders. They have pain in their legs. They get weakness in their legs. So it really depends on how you're taking care of your body. And they all have a choice. Sure, you can sit there and say it's woo-woo and that the people who have left me Google reviews of how better they're feeling, it's not real. You choose. Or you can sit there and prove to me why what you're doing is working for you or not working for you, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm going to see if I can convince my father to call you, but I highly doubt it because he doesn't even listen to me. But I mean, I've tried. And water, you're right. Like I don't even know how, like he probably drinks a cup of water a day. But if
I
that.
even I have this German couple who comes. They've been coming once a month, I don't know, for like 15 years. Jack, what can I do? I said, drink water. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. Just start drinking water. It's free, it's right there. You don't have to call, you don't have to make an appointment. Just drink water. And, we all fight it. I don't like water. I don't put something in it to make you like it, right?
There are ways. There are ways.
There are ways, but we get in our own way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I have my own areas where I get in my own way that, oh, I can't do that, or I can't go to the gym every day, or I can't do this. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to feeling better, just start with water.
Mm.
Oh my God, drink water and get a massage. Those would be the two things. Get a massage. You can even look for a massage therapist who works your psoas muscle. It's a very specific massage, but the psoas muscle causes so much pain in the body.
Mm.
One massage, you will have probably 60% better, less pain when you get off the table. And then just drink half your weight in ounces in water and you're good.
Well, that's easy. I mean, sorry. I think it is.
Right.
Here I am. I'm busy trying to drink a gallon a day, and that's not easy. But but
you got me there. A gallon. Yeah, that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm trying. I don't say I'm good at it, but I try. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on today. I so appreciate it. I very much enjoyed this chat, and I really hope that people listening seek you out because I think that you could make some amazing changes in their lives and in their world, and not just their physical health, but their abundance in life, which is
And I do even have a free I can leave a link for a free consultation if they like.
perfect.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah, I would love, I'll put that all in the notes and hopefully some people will head your way. So
awesome. Thank you. This was great.
Yeah, thank you. Well, seriously, drink your water and reach out to Jacqueline. She is amazing. And I think that anyone looking for more abundance in your life, a better life and health and physical health and mental health and all those things, reach out because why not try it? Like, why not? Don't be so stubborn to say it's woo-woo and it won't work. I actually dare you to reach out and try it. I'm going to. So, if you enjoyed this podcast, I hope that you'll share and like and subscribe. And until next time, remember that I believe in you and you can manifest the life of your dreams.